Hi YouTube. So I haven't made a video in like forever because like I'm just not sure like exactly how to do this YouTube thing, but I really do want to do it. So I'm just recording from my phone now. I'm at school. I go to Aveda, so that's why my hair looks like this. I literally just did it. But I kind of wanted to give you guys like I guess an update on my breastfeeding journey. It hasn't been easy at all, trust me. Like, I went through so much. Like, I wanted to stop breastfeeding so bad, but it's like I kept pushing myself because the whole time I was pregnant, I kept saying, like, I'm going to breastfeed no matter what. Like, I just know, like, the good benefits, of breastfeeding. And I was like, I really want to take advantage of it. Like, if I can do it, why not? So, initially, my daughter, when she was born, she latched on pretty good, I would say. I was just a little bit more concerned like if I was doing it right since it's like my first time. So I kind of just talked to the lactation consultant. They said, yeah, I'm doing it right and blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, cool. So the first day, yeah, it was hard. It was like weird because I'm not used to somebody like, sucking like that hard on your nipples. So it's like you have to get used to it. And then at that, it's like I don't know, it's just overwhelming because it was like so much going on. So when we were at the hospital, her like latch and everything I guess was good. But she mostly used my boob as like a pacifier. So, and that's another thing, like I didn't really want to introduce a pacifier, but then I thought about it, like she's gonna keep using my boob as, her pacifier. So I ended up giving her a pacifier, and then I realized like she just wanted something, I guess, to suckle on. So whatever, we ended up leaving the hospital, and that's when like the breastfeeding journey like really hit me. Like I was like, wow, I don't know if I could actually do this. Like I would always cringe at the time of like her feedings. I would try to have her sleep as often as possible because it's like I didn't want her like on me because it hurt. Like I wanted her on me to do the breastfeeding and the bonding and everything, but every time I would think about the pain, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't want to feed her. So whatever, I got over that phase. I would usually just try to like get my mind off of it when I would latch her on. I would like distract myself mostly. They told me if I drink like cold water and cold drinks that it'll kind of like soothe everything, but I mostly just watch TV to kind of like distract myself until like she started sucking, and it's like, okay, like now it's okay. But initially it would always hurt. And I would say I kind of got like comfortable with breastfeeding probably like, to be honest, maybe like a month and a half. I would say, yeah, about like 6 months, because it was so hard. Like I would literally like wake up and almost like, wow, like I think I'm gonna go buy her formula. Like I contemplated on it so many times because it was like that much of a struggle. But then I'm so happy that I stuck to it because it's like it's really not that bad. Like it's just more of like a dedication, because you have to dedicate your body to like the baby like every 2 hours. Like, and it does take a toll on you like as a person, because it's like, wow, I don't get no time to myself, I have to feed her. But then again, like when you think about it, it's kind of like the same concept, because if you were to go make a bottle, you would have to sit there and feed the baby. So it's like, why not bond with her, and it's also better, like she's breastfeeding. So yeah, so I would say up until like a month and a half, then I was like, okay, like I'm a breastfeeding pro. But then we hit like, I would say like a nursing strike. Not really, because it wasn't more so a strike. I would think it was more so on my end. I would say she was about like 2.5 months maybe. And it was this one time where we were at, it was really hot, and I guess she got frustrated, and I guess she's also a very impatient baby, I would say. Because when I put her on the boob, it's like she wants the milk right then and there. Even before I introduce a bottle to her, that's always how she been. Like she's so impatient. Like she gets so frustrated, she'll pop off, cry, then I have to put her back on, and it's like, I'm like, Summer, you have to, oh, her name's Summer, I didn't tell you guys. I'm like, oh my gosh, Summer, you have to work with me. Like if you would suck, the milk would come. And then, so whatever, yeah, so she's very impatient. So it was one day, it was hot, I guess she was also frustrated due to like the heat. So I kept trying to put her on, and she kept like coming off, and I'm like, you have to stay on long enough to get your milk to like come down and stuff. So she kept getting mad. I kept trying to put her on it, whatever. So I would say that like a period of like 4 hours, she wouldn't eat. Like I kept putting her on and she wouldn't take it. And I think it was just more so my end because I was more frustrated, and I think she sensed my frustration. So I literally had to hand her off to like my mom. They gave her like my frozen breast milk out of the freezer, and she pretty much fell asleep. And it's like I would say I kind of like almost cried myself to sleep as well because I was so frustrated. Like breastfeeding is so hard sometimes. Like you have to be patient, and it's just not, you know, what you want. Sometimes it doesn't go as you plan, but you know, it happens. So whatever. So yeah, she fell asleep. My mom fed her the bottle. She fell asleep. Then she ended up waking up, and everything was okay. But it's like I was panicking so much because for those 4 hours, that's pretty much like 2 feedings. Like the initial feeding, she didn't want to take it. So I was like, okay, whatever. I, you know, just kept holding her. She was okay. But I sensed she was hungry because she was kind of fussy. So then in another like hour, I tried it again, and it kept happening. But overall, what I'm getting at is just that breastfeeding, it's so difficult, and you just really have to be patient and stick with it. Like right now, my daughter was born September 20th, so she just turned 4 months, and I've been exclusively breastfeeding her. Exclusively. So when I'm at school, I would pump every 2 hours, and then my husband, he's at home with her when I'm at school, and he would feed her, and she's doing pretty good. Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, I would definitely say you do have to buy some type of like nipple cream, nipple something, because wow, I would say that did me a lot of justice, because before that, my nipples were so like, I guess, chafed and chapped or something. I don't even know what they were. They just were just in so much pain, and I just needed anything to just make them feel better. So I think like my second day in the hospital, yeah, second day, I told my husband, like, please just go buy me something that says for nipples, anything, like anything. I just need something. So he went, he bought me what is the brand? Oh, Boobies. And they were my lifesaver. I put it on immediately once he got it, and I would say probably like like a week maybe, I saw like a difference in like I guess like our latch maybe. It didn't hurt that much. It still was kind of painful. I still was adjusting to it, but it made it a little bit more easier, I would say. Like it wasn't so much friction on it when she would like latch on and stuff, and it was just better. It still was painful, you know. It takes time for your body to like adjust to something, because like you're not used to somebody sucking at it trying to, you know, get milk. But I would definitely say invest in that. Also, breast pads were a lifesaver, because my boobs would leak 24/7, and it's not just leaking, they would actually spray. So like for the first maybe 2 months, like 2.5 months, it took me a while to kind of like get it like down pack where I kind of didn't need breast pads anymore, unless when I'm like away from her, because you know every 2 hours I was pumping, and sometimes I would like not forget, but I go to school, so I would get caught up doing like I guess hair, and my boobs would go to leaking. So I guess the breast pads did help in that case, but when I'm with her, I don't really have to worry about it, because if it does get to that point where it leaks, I just know that I need to feed her like now, or at least go pump if I'm not with her. And what's another thing? This is just a side note. I'm literally at school on my break. So I'm just using my phone to record. I really just thought that I'd get back on my YouTube thing. That's just a side note. What else? Breastfeeding. Yeah, so pretty much just stick to it. I knew from the moment I found out I was pregnant that I wanted to breastfeed. And my husband would always say like, oh, what if it hurts? What if you can't stick to it? And I was just like, I'm gonna make it happen. Like, I want to breastfeed her. And even before I was pregnant, I always wanted to breastfeed, just because I know like the benefits of it, and you know it's worth it. So yeah, she's born, I breastfed, and I plan on breastfeeding. I want to up until a year, if you know it allows me to, which I don't see a problem, because I'm gonna be done with school in like another 2 months, and I'll be with her 24/7. I really won't have to pump. and it'll be just whatever. And then also, she's almost gonna be 6 months within like another month and a half, and then she'll be eating food, you know, like normal people, so she wouldn't really need to breastfeed that often. But yeah, and then another thing is my daughter is so greedy, or I don't know. Like, I see other people talking about their baby is breastfed every, if they're breastfed every like 2 hours, they want 4 ounces. Since like my daughter was probably like, I went back to school when she was like 2.5 months. I would say from that point on, I would say let's just round it off to 3 months. She's been drinking consistently like 5 to 6 ounces, and sometimes she wants more, but I try not to give her more because I feel like like she's overeating. She literally wants like 6 ounces every 2 hours, and it's like, girl, you're so fat, you want so much. Like, sometimes my husband gives it to her, sometimes she'll just cry for a little bit, I guess because she kind of wants to continue sucking on something. Remember, like I said, when she was first born, she always just wants something in her mouth. Like, she always wants her pacifier, she's always putting her hands in her mouth. And that's another thing, she's also like teething, like since probably like, I don't know, maybe like a month and a half ago, she's been teething and drooling and everything like crazy. But yeah, back to my breastfeeding journey. I don't really have any other pointers. I really just recommend like sticking to it because it's really a trial. Like, oh my goodness, it's so many obstacles. Like, it's mostly just the painfulness of it. Like, I wouldn't say it's too painful to the point where you can't do it, but it is a little painful because you're just, you're just not used to it. And yeah, also, if you're going to be away for her, I definitely recommend investing in like a good breast pump, because I bought one from like Walmart. It was like $80, but it was like, at the moment I needed it because my boobs were so engorged to the point where it's like I was so uncomfortable throughout the day. Like, I just didn't even want to be touched. Like, I was like, oh my goodness. And then at that, the fact that it's like breastfeeding was so hard too. It's that my boobs were engorged, and I also didn't want to breastfeed because it's like, oh my god, it's gonna hurt so bad. So it's like I was losing either way. But then, I would still breastfeed her regardless if it hurt. But it's just that I just had to distract myself from the pain until like I kind of, mellowed out while she was breastfeeding. But yeah, the breast pump, you definitely do need one. So I got the, what is it called? My First Years from Walmart. It worked. It did its job for the first, like, I went back to school when she was 2.5 months. So I would say for the first month and a half. And recently, like, I would say like 2 weeks ago, I noticed that it's not getting all the milk I need. So I invested into a new pump, and it definitely gets the job done. And I still pump every 2 hours while I'm at school to try to keep up my milk supply, even though she kind of drinks like well, not drinks, but she kind of nurses or gets hungry. Like, I would say every 3 to 3.5 hours now. Now that she's 4 months, I've seen like a big difference in her eating patterns. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I did a lot of research on breastfeeding prior to actually breastfeeding her. I didn't see anything that I didn't really like know already, kind of, slightly, because it's nothing to it. You literally just take out your boob and just breastfeed. Like, there's nothing else. And if you want to like keep up your breast milk supply, it's obvious that you have to drink fluids. They recommend drinking water regardless. But yeah, I definitely try to drink a lot of water because I do see like an increase in my milk supply when I'm like hydrated with enough water. And yeah, other than that, I don't have anything else. I will definitely try to be on YouTube. I guess my next video, I can do like an update on my daughter. I don't know, I kind of want to be like, I don't know, a mom hairstylist guru. I don't know, something. But yeah, so what do people normally say? Like, subscribe, comment, ask me questions, add my social media, anything you like to do. And I will get back to you guys at another time, whenever I find time at least. Bye.